at the Disney Movies with the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David.
And this week, it's down where the country bears. It's like bluegrass, but country, but not really with bears.
Barry Barrington was like any other boy.
Mom, am I adopted?
Of course not, honey.
Dexter!
I gotta face facts.
Now Barry's about to discover his destiny.
The Country Bears!
With four guys who are barely a band.
Yeah.
So is this supposed to be bluegrass music? Is that what this is supposed to be?
I honestly couldn't really figure that out. The actual Country Bears music was so bad. It was baffling. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be blues, country, southern rock. It took all of the worst elements of these things and mushed them up into a little ball.
Well, and the sad part is that was the best part of the movie was the music, so...
Ooh, I disagree, actually.
Oh, what was the best part of the movie? The end, when it was over and we could turn off the TV?
I didn't totally hate this movie.
Okay, you guys can't see my face right now, but I'm completely shocked.
It grew on me as it went along. Like, wasn't... I mean, hang on. It's a really bad movie. Wait. It's really, really bad. It's not the Santa Claus 3 bad.
David.
It's just... It has a little more to it than that. There's a little bit of heart. There are things that are actually funny in this movie, which is insane. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Yeah, I don't need to just explain myself from the beginning. But I mean, in my opinion, this is the worst possible case for a musical. This is the worst case scenario musical.
Well, okay, so this movie was made for people. So there is an attraction at DisneyWorld that we didn't go on at Magic Kingdom. It's not even a ride. It's a show. It's called Country Bear Jamboree. And that's what this movie is based on. Is that attraction?
That's fine. I think the biggest,
so it's made for those people who have childhood nostalgia of Country Bear Jamboree,
which I'm fine with. But why make it live action? To me, that was this should have been a cartoon.
Well,
or a Pixar style.
But in the attraction, it's animatronics. So they were trying to do that, but I didn't get what the world of this movie was. The people with the bears, no logic.
100%. They never explain the world. None of it makes any sense because the bears operate as if they're people. There's no world building, and that's one of the biggest pitfalls of this movie is they just shoot it out of a cannon.
I also had a really hard time because I couldn't name any of, that's this character. Oh, that's this character.
Right. They were very indistinguishable bears. It was
not even just the bears, the people too.
They were indistinguishable bears. You couldn't tell which one was which. They should have made them different types of bears. Here's a black bear. Here's a brown bear. Here's a grizzly bear. Here's a panda bear. Just make them distinguishable from one another.
That's a really good point.
I mean, I get their clothes and stuff, but that's not enough.
No,
it made it really difficult to follow.
The bear that was, I think it was Fred Betterhead, which that's a whole other thing. Fred Betterhead, I didn't realize that he wasn't the same bear as the caretaker bear, the one who was obsessed with the lawn. They're basically the same big dumb bear.
Big Al? Yeah, those two characters were extraordinarily close to each other, which was a little baffling, I'll give you that.
I don't understand why they thought this movie would be successful. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the actual... I mean, I know you said nostalgia for the ride, but I'm not sure who the actual audience for this movie is. I was thinking it's more basically elderly country people, which is not really a genre of people that would watch this movie. I don't get it.
Well, let's read the synopsis really quick.
Okay.
So, Country Bears, and I don't know if we mentioned it was 2002.
No, we didn't.
Okay. So, Country Bears. Comedy music. Okay? Mm-hmm. One of the most heartwarming family adventures ever. This hilarious comedy is packed with fantastic fun and foot-stomping music for the whole family. For Barry Barrington, the Country Bears' young #1 fan, fitting in with his all-too-human family is proving impossible.
Oh, they didn't need that.
It's not even done yet. When he runs away to find Country Bear Hall and his heroes, he discovers the venue that made them famous is near foreclosure. Barry hightails it over the river and through the woods to get the Bears and the band back together for an all-out reunion concert to save Country Bear Hall, and on the way to find his place in the world. Barry learns that true families are made up of those people who love you the most.
So, okay. This movie had the bones to be good. No, I'm telling you, the structure of the whole story, they could have made this work.
They could have. Maybe if they...
Let's just jump one thing ahead to the director who's never directed anything else.
And so I don't know how to figure out, because he was very involved with a bunch of 90s cartoons.
Well, he was a writer.
He was a writer.
Producer.
Oh, okay. Because I couldn't figure out how he was involved with that.
Yeah, so he had an extensive background in cartoons, so let's put him in charge of a live-action movie with animatronic bears. No.
Yeah. And there was such a big focus on the music. Pretty much 70% of the movie was musical numbers.
Right, so this is probably going to end up being one of our shorter episodes because there's not a lot to talk about for 70% of the movie because it's just it's just a song.
Well, there is a lot to talk about.
Well, there is, but if 70% of the song or of the movie is a music video,
and really, I can't really remember many of the songs, anyways.
None of them.
I remember probably 2 of them, and
I wrote
that's
down
about
maybe
it.
2 or 3. So
I didn't write down any of them, but I have some fun tie-ins with the music. So I couldn't figure out for about 45 minutes, and then I just stopped worrying about it because I got distracted by something else, probably a fly on the ceiling or something. Who was voicing Barry, because he sounded so basic and so...
Yeah, it was terrible.
And it was Haley Joel Osment. It was Sixth Sense kid.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like, what do we put this kid who has no talent in? Oh, let's put him in this animatronic Disney movie. And that's probably the only other thing he did besides Sixth Sense.
Did you know that he was the first choice for Harry Potter and he turned it down?
Oh, that was a lucky dodge. Because that kid grew up to be funky looking.
He's not even British. But
yeah.
I was very confused by the amount of super famous people they suckered into doing this movie.
Well, it was mostly musicians, right?
Sort of.
I mean, other than Christopher Walken and Diedrich Bader.
Okay. This is the first Disney movie Christopher Walken has ever done, and he chooses the Country Bears. You're better than this.
It was probably a good payday, and he was really good in it. Once again, why I don't completely hate this movie. Diedrich Bader as the cop, and the other guy who was the cop, who I thought I recognized, but he's really not been in anything.
Wasn't he in Psych, that TV show?
I have never seen that.
Yeah, it's a popular TV show.
But they were both really good. All the cop scenes were really funny. Really funny.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't be like, this movie is totally awful Santa Claus, because I can point to this and be like, this was actually funny. There were good scenes.
It has your friend, Stephen Root.
Oh, no, I know.
But I don't remember.
What a waste of it. He was Zeb. He was the fiddle player. And it's a waste. It's a total waste of his talents. I
didn't even know who that was.
It has Ned, yeah, exactly. It has Ned Niedermeyer from Groundhog Day as the dad.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He always plays a kind of square dad type character.
Because he's great at it. He's really great at that, and he was fine in the 4 minutes he was in this movie. And then there was a ton of cameos by famous musicians.
Elton John, Queen Latifah, Bonnie Wright, a bunch of country people.
So,
Willie Nelson.
Because the guy from the Eagles, I thought it was Glenn Fry, and it turns out it was the other guy.
What guy from the Eagles? I don't know.
It was with Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, well, she was also the voice of Trixie.
Well, right, but so was the other guy.
Or she was the singing voice of Trixie.
The guy from the Eagles was the singing voice of one of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
But wait, which one? It's the one that I don't like. Oh,
I don't know the
what's
Eagles
his
very.
name?
I don't know. I can't help you there. I'm sorry.
No, you know.
No,
But
I
not
really
the
don't.
Eagles. He sings that song like "End of the Innocent."
What?
Oh, now I actually have to look because it's gonna drive me crazy. My mom really likes this guy, and I can't stand him.
While you're looking that up, there was a number of trivia facts, but this was the very first Disney film based on a theme park attraction.
Shocking.
And
It's Don Henley.
And they
That was
follow.
the guy.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't stand him.
They did follow that up with 4 other theme park based movies.
Shut up.
Yeah.
After this, they decided this was a good idea.
Apparently.
Oh my god.
Apparently.
Woof.
Yeah. Did you find any other fun facts or trivia you wanted to share with the class?
You know, the only thing I kind of found was that the dude who wrote this movie also wrote Herbie Fully Loaded and the movie Game Night. How do you get 3 different completely off the wall movies? Game Night is that adult movie with Jason Bateman.
Oh, right. And what was the other? Herbie is the newer.
Herbie Fully Loaded. I think that's the one with Lindsay Lohan.
It is, yeah. It is on the list too.
No, I know, but I mean, how?
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
So this movie, I had a really hard time with because it missed the mark on so many story points.
I honestly think that was the direction. Like I said, I think this movie had the bones, the writing and everything. And I think the director just screwed the movie up.
Yes, but the story, which we'll get into here in a second, had so many missing things.
But like I said, I think that's the direction.
You say it had heart. I felt nothing through the entire movie except for pain.
I didn't until the end. Towards the end, I was like, oh, well, you know, there's maybe something here. Maybe. But see, here's the thing. There was a point where I was like, oh, maybe there's something here. But then I started to draw back from it. So, I mean, it's really just barely there.
It's barely there.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So, should we get into it? Do you have anything else you want to add up front?
Up front? I mean, the dude that played Henry is a cartoon. He was the main bear.
Oh, he wasn't in the band. He was essentially their manager.
No. But he was the first one that the kid recruited.
Right. He wasn't in the band.
He wasn't?
No. He was literally their manager. What instrument did he play?
Oh, now I'm really confused.
Isn't he the one who was calling everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the band. He was their manager.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Now I'm not sure. But
I don't think so. I think he was in the band. I think he was the glue of the band. The manager was that. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Big Al was the manager.
I don't think so.
No, because he has the singing parts. That's I think who Don Henley is as the singer.
What does he sing though?
Oh no, it's Tennessee O'Neil.
Yeah. Because you have Tennessee, you have Fred, you have Ted, you have, and there's one other, Tennessee, Fred, Zeb, and that's it. There's only 4 of them. And then the drum is a person. Is Rhodey.
It's Rhodey, yeah, you're Rhodey.
So yes, I'm sure, dude. Because remember at the beginning when he's up in the rafters and he's I just used to hear the songs up here, man. He wouldn't be up there listening if he was part of the band. He's their manager.
But wasn't he on stage?
He was backstage.
And he was the one that said that the kid could be a part of the band?
I think so.
We can get the band back together.
Get the band back together? Get the... Oh, that's the stupidest thing. Never in a million years.
But this place, it's historic.
No.
The notes and the rafters,
No.
I know they'll do it.
Oh,
They can
come
play
on
a
now.
show.
Now
Come on,
stop it, okay? Just forget it. Stop it.
But wait, you're not.
I said stop.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
So obviously, everybody, this movie makes no sense.
No. And I think I was pretty clear because as soon as the movie opened with all of this, the Country Bears double platinum records, you weren't really paying attention, and then you looked up and saw the animatronic bears, and your face was one of the best parts of this experience.
So I was so disappointed when I saw that. Wait, why are we doing this? What's happening right now?
What were you expecting?
An animated movie.
Oh, you thought this was animated?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Oh.
What is the point of doing a live action movie like this?
I thought we covered that in the last thing.
we might have, but I probably forgot. Why would I remember that? I was just wait. We're way past this as a society. This is not necessary.
Yeah.
We have good animation, CGI. But the problem is that the animatronics in this movie are excellent. It looks great.
Okay.
It does. It does. They all move good. Their mouths move good. It all looks good.
So
it's hard to argue with that part.
Just so I don't forget to ask, after watching this movie, would you go watch the Country Bear Jamboree?
No.
Okay.
Are they supposed to have songs that people like?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's made for the people who have those childhood memories, probably of going to Disney World and, let's watch Country Bear Jamboree. Because all the Disney podcasts I listen to, Country Bear Jamboree, it is either, I love it, my childhood memories, blah, 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 oh my god, or it's that attraction, I will never go on it again.
Yeah, that's...
There's no in the middle, so it's that, that's all this is pure nostalgia for people who actually like it.
And that's weird. That's a weird thing to make a movie off of. Stick to books, Disney, Jesus.
So, essentially the opening credits of the movie are just...
a super long concert scene.
Oh my god, I can't even...
The big crazy stage show, sparks and stage diving, and they're just, and here's all these bears.
Are they supposed to be essentially Leonard Skinner? Is that what they're supposed to be?
So, ideally, I would say yeah, but they're nothing even close to that. I would say they're more like I don't even know, one of the other lower tier crappy bands. Leonard Skinner.
Maybe like if ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner made a baby.
No. Leave Leonard Skinner out of this. Because actually the best part musically in this movie is when they play a Leonard Skinner song. That's when I was looking at you. When you're like, I'll write it down.
Oh, okay. Just bring it up when I don't remember.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
I'm watching this opening sequence. I'm thinking, okay, there's bears. Why? Because they're one human. He's not a bear. He shouldn't be in the Country Bears. It just doesn't make any sense. So the guy who was Rhodey for a hot second, he reminded me, there's some guy, so it's the guy who plays the cop. He's in some movie where he has a mullet, right?
Yeah, it's called Napoleon Dynamite. It's like one of the best.
Oh, right. Okay. I forgot, but I just pictured him. I pictured him as he would have been that guy, the same role.
Yeah. And he is the voice of the main bear, of Henry. Or no, he's the voice of Ted.
Right.
Later on.
I don't remember. As I'm watching this concert sequence, oh my god, I'm so impressed at this super long intro. Wow, so rockin'. It's very exciting.
I knocked down early this movie vibes, which it doesn't get. Spoiler alert, it won't get that.
I am genuinely surprised.
Yeah, it doesn't get it.
Not from you, at least.
It was close.
Not from you. Maybe from this one over here.
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning, I was definitely wanting to hate this movie as much as possible.
Well, it kind of is. And we'll move past this shortly, but it reminded me of those. I don't know how to explain it, but you see those evangelical shows on TV where they're like, praise Jesus, and they're all going crazy, and it's way over the top. That's what this felt like. Very over the top, forced. Yeah, country music, bluegrass, rockin', blah.
Yeah, but it couldn't pick a lane. It was all of any of those.
It didn't make any sense. And they were bears. So I mean, bears don't even have fingers. How are they gonna play the guitar?
Yeah, I don't know. So then finally that ends, and we cut to Barry the Bear, who was watching this tape. And that was what our opening thing was.
Right. And his whole bedroom wall is plastered with country bears. He has a school project that's country bears, and clearly he's obsessed.
And he's a bear.
And, okay, This is where we get to problem number 1 with this movie.
Oh, no. This is problem number 1 through 100.
Right. So he goes downstairs. We meet his family. His brother's a douchebag with frosted tips. Okay, he didn't even have to speak. Oh, you have frosted tips. You're a douchebag. And, like, is this movie made in 1995? I don't know. But
No. This was the right time for frosted tips.
God.
This was perfect.
But they weren't even Justin Timberlake. They were big chunks of frosted tips. Like, not frosted flake, not tips.
Yeah, they were grown out and cut off. This is actually perfect.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Immediately, Barry just says, which apparently he's in 4th grade. So how old are you in 4th grade?
10.
10. Am I adopted? Well, you're gonna wait till you're 10 to ask if you're adopted? You're a bear. Your parents and your brother are human.
And there's just this cheesy, douchey scene of them being like, oh, whole family's really who's loves you, and blah, 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 blah.
And then they're upstairs and his brother is saying, oh, look at this baby picture, and it's him as a baby bear, and this whole thing about
Look
how...
at my birth certificate. Look at your birth certificate.
It's not mentioned for the rest of the entire movie. So this whole opening sequence has no relevance on anything.
Other than that Barry decides to run away to Country Bear Hall.
You didn't ask if you were adopted before the time you're 10? Come on.
Before this day.
Like, it doesn't... And so... That's why it jumps into this, and you have no emotional connection to Barry, to his situation.
I get it, yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
And they could have just used 45 seconds. Instead of the whole stupid cheesy crap with the family, which they could have even kept, they could have just explained WTF. They could have built the world in a minute and a half. Here's kind of the rules. Here's kind of the thing. With just an easy scene or two of bear-human interaction. But they decided not to do that.
And maybe they cut it out, but that's what didn't make sense, is the world didn't make sense.
Right. It just... And from here on out, the movie is just baffling.
And so he gets on a bus, a Greyhound bus, which conveniently drops him right outside of Country Bear Hall. Must be a major destination for people.
Yeah. Well, we see that because... The price at one point to go to get a tour of Country Bear Hall was $500, and each price had been X'd out down to now where it's 25 cents.
But here's the thing. This was my other problem with this. Okay, well, not my other problem. Like there's only two problems. Another problem. That set was brand new looking. There was no spider webs. There was nothing showing it was old or in disrepair or the Country Bear Hall.
Yeah,
they did that with a few things in this movie.
It was really beautifully built.
No, it was great, but that's not.
But they should have covered it in dust at first.
Yes, they should have. That should have been the whole thing. Is it should have been broken down. The sign should have been crooked. They should have had things that said that matched the tour being crossed off.
Right, and it honestly, one of my favorite parts of the movie was the actual Country Bear Hall.
Oh no,
it was really cool.
It was cool. It was beautiful. But if you're thinking of, and there was no really sense of time for how long the band had been broken up.
Okay, the whole movie had zero sense of time. None.
Except for, we're going to do a concert in 4 days.
Well, right, but the rest of it, the 4 days doesn't come into play. It seems like they were on the road for about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
when you go to Country Bear Hall, all of a sudden, Christopher Walken turns around, and coincidentally, I can never remember Christopher Walken's name, ever. He's the one actor, anytime I think about him, I'm thinking, who is that? What is his name? I know who he is, but I always am thinking some other random name that doesn't exist in reality. Christopher Schwartz? Who is that? I don't know. But so he's clearly the villain right off the bat. He's what exactly is his? What does he do?
He's a banker, and he's going to foreclose because they're 6 years behind in payments, $20,000.
Right. So it's 6 years that I feel like it would be foreclosed before that, wouldn't it?
Of course, but in passing, Henry mentions the other banker that they used to have didn't mind if they got behind. So he's their new banker.
Right.
Yeah.
25 cents! Do you have change for 100? Do you like the sound of crunching wood? I do.
And I loved when he drove away and he had a wrecking ball as his little car
I hated that.
hood ornament.
Yeah. That was terrible. I hated it.
So, I mean, immediately Christopher Walken puts it up a notch, but then they do that kind of and it drags it right back down.
It really did drag it way back down. Him just taking off was better.
So essentially, if they can't come up with the money, they're going to tear down Country Bear Hall, and I'm thinking, oh, it's Candleshoe, but whatever, you know.
Oh, yeah, I guess it kind of is. And then we get the hilarious cop at the parents' house.
Oh, I didn't.
It cuts right back to that.
I didn't write that down.
With the baked goods.
Oh, yes, because she says, essentially they reported him missing, and she says, I get upset I bake, and brings out this tray that could feed probably 70 people.
Yeah. It was amazing looking.
It was amazing looking.
And then we cut right back to Barry, who realizes he belongs at Country Bear Hall, and his purpose in life is to save the hall and get the band back together, and Henry just yells at him and calls him a little piece of shit.
I don't recall piece of shit
being in the he doesn't call him that, but essentially he's just yelling at him, making him feel bad. Then we go back to the cops and the brother, and that's another pretty funny scene. And then we go back again to Barry.
See, I didn't write any of this down.
Ripping on the guitar and singing. It's clear that Barry can just rip.
Yeah, and that's right. Because look, the kid bear plays guitar, and I feel nothing.
And sings, yeah. And then they get the tour bus roadie.
Well, okay, before that though, Barry goes to Henry. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And says, we can get the band back together, blah, blah. And
but that's what I mean, like his whole purpose
I know,
in life. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden Henry's, maybe we could do that. Oh, you were 6 years behind and you never thought about that? Like,
well, he goes and because he goes and talks to Big Al. We could do that.
Oh, God.
Big Al's my favorite character.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
It's a sign.
I can't.
He's dumb.
Can't.
That guy should have been Larry the Cable Guy. But I think this movie would have had Larry the Cable Guy, but this was before Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, so maybe why isn't Jeff Foxworthy in it then?
I think this was in between times for Foxworthy. This was right before the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Oh, okay.
So Foxworthy was popular before that. This was the bottom of his popularity, probably just before Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, or right at the same time.
What's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? What is that?
It was the game show that Jeff Foxworthy had.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Was it good?
No.
Oh.
It was Jeff Foxworthy.
I don't know.
There's only one good comic on the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Who's that? Bill Engvall?
No! Oh.
Who is it? There's only 3 of them.
There's 4 of them.
There's 3. Who's the 4th one?
I'm blanking on his name right now. And it makes me really mad.
It's Larry the Cable Guy.
Ron White.
Oh,
the one that's actually funny.
I forgot about that dude. Didn't he always have like a glass of whiskey and a cigar or something? He's the one who's actually funny. Okay. Yeah, okay. I completely forgot that he was a thing.
Yeah, great.
He kind of looks like, what's that guy with the really big teeth?
Yes, he does. Look like Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, thank you. Yeah.
Like an older or just a whiter haired Gary Busey.
Amazing. A steroid Gary Busey.
Yeah.
They get the bus, and it's, of course, dilapidated, run down, boarded up windows, and all of a sudden, there's Rhodey. You're supposed to know that
he just jumps out of nowhere.
You don't know that he's the drummer. It's not established. You just think
we could have seen it in the beginning and not realized it.
So, okay, when he first appeared with his chicken, I thought that he was the cop. I thought they had such a low budget that they had the same actor playing 2 parts.
Well, they did, but not like that. And there was one of the better scenes, or one of the better jokes in this movie. After the tour bus leaves, the tour bus was holding up the barn that it was in, because after the tour bus leaves, the barn falls down.
Right.
And that was a good gag. I was like, that's a good gag.
Oh, God. So the first bear member they go to pick up, and I just want to point out, first of all, they really don't have that much trouble getting the entire band together, whatever, until way later. So the first one is Fred Betterhead?
Yeah, Fred Betterhead. Who is Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Right. And he works at a security at some sort of music video shoot, and so this chick This is the first musical number, really, in the movie.
Oh.
Crystal. And she's got those 90s eyebrows. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. The meth head eyebrows? Yeah.
Fun fact that I called as we're watching the movie, and then I looked it up, and I was like, yes, I'm right. So do you remember in the beginning of Princess Diaries, that song that was really terrible that was... I'm Supergirl.
Oh, yeah. I hated it.
It's the same chick.
No way.
Because the music video for that song was always on Disney Channel, and I was like, oh, is that the Supergirl chick? Oh, Crystal, what happened to your eyebrows?
Well, she got...
and
hit the meth pipe. That's what happened.
And her real name is Crystal.
I mean, that was the reason that people had those eyebrows was because.
But it makes sense because Princess Diaries was what, 2000?
I think it was a year or two
before.
So
she was somewhat mildly fringe level popular, and
I think it had to be somebody that Disney was trying to push to be popular, and it just didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
That whole musical number, she's saying, oh, Fred, join in. And I thought there was going to be some sort of weird bestiality romance going on.
Awesome.
But there was undertones of bestiality.
Yeah.
There was, throughout the whole movie. But they do a song. He plays his little harmonica. And it really doesn't have any bearing on the rest of the
movie. He stage dives into an empty arena, which makes no sense, even though he's the inventor of stage diving.
Right.
And then they ask him to rejoin the band. Scene over.
Yeah. Fred Betterhead.
Brad Garrett.
Gonna give.
Okay. I mean, the problem, and this just focuses on the problem of this movie, is now that there's another bear, you don't know which one's which or why.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
So they're in
Henry calls Rip their old promoter. Rip Hamilton,
right.
Okay. Old douche, and this part's pretty funny.
This part actually was funny. I will swallow my pride and say yes, this part was funny because I didn't write it down and I kind of forgot about it. So they call him and he's what appears to be an office, and he's saying, yeah, I'll promote it. And he's pretending to flip through the calendar. But the funny part is when they pull away and he's in some random department store.
No, he's in like Staples.
And the worker is saying, sir, we told you can't do this anymore. You need to leave. That part was funny.
Yeah,
I will admit that.
It is really funny. So they get him on board.
Aren't they on the bus with the scrapbook at this point?
So, kind of. There's a little scene that's very important where Big Al tells Christopher Walken their plans on accident.
Right.
Oops.
And because he shares about the promoter. And Christopher Walken's character, Reed, is his name, right?
I have no idea.
His name is Reed, I think, but then he has a different...
I'm just going to call him Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken can just be Christopher Walken.
Yeah, there's no reason...
Where is Evan Williams' bottle? Is that in Tennessee?
Kentucky.
Oh, close enough. So it's fitting. This was all filmed in Tennessee, by the way.
Yeah. Which it was beautiful. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Wow.
We should go there sometime.
And then, we go to the Swarming Hive Honey Club.
Right, because apparently Tennessee is a, quote, honey-aholic, or essentially he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, he's an alky.
But for bears, it's honey.
It's honey, yeah.
So
really, Winnie the Pooh
right?
is a total disaster.
He's pretty much on a bender 24/7.
Yeah. He's a total addict. He'll steal from his grandma.
Which kind of makes sense because all of the Winnie the Pooh characters have some sort of crazy disorder. Like, you have Piglet who has agoraphobia, doesn't want to leave their house, and you have...
That's the best.
Yeah, it's a lot. And Tigger is basically on cocaine the whole time. Yeah, whole thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Al's a meth head.
And I will say, this whole scene actually, I thought was one of the better parts of the movie.
So this is my favorite part of the movie.
Okay, it's my favorite part too. We'll get to that later.
This is easily the best part of the movie.
Because they go in, and then this was basically the theme of the movie. Somebody turns around, and I'm, what? Why
is Queen Latifah?
What are you doing? You're so much better than this. Stop. But she's a bartender, and she's
owner.
She's the owner
and tender, but yeah.
She's saying, "Oh, he owes me a lot of money." Blah 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 blah. And so the kid gets the idea to make a wager with her that, oh, he'll go his fiddle against your house band, and if we lose, you can have the bus. If we win, you get rid of his bill, essentially.
Right.
And he is the one who also is apparently a blumbering idiot because he lost his love, Trixie, who was apparently a Fringe level band member. But
No, that's not him. That's the next guy. That's Tennessee. He's not the blubbering mess.
What was Tennessee doing? Oh, you're right. You're right.
The second best part of the movie.
My bad.
Yeah.
So it's essentially they're ripping off that song.
Devil Went
Down.
Yeah. Which Devil Came Down, Georgia.
But that's basically what they were doing, and they have this rockabilly looking on stage with a big poofy hair.
Okay, that's Brian Seltzer.
Oh, I don't know anything.
Okay, so he had a 15-minute of fame, the most popular guy in 1999, 2 seconds with one popular song.
What was the song? Was it rockabilly? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was the one, because
that's the genre.
Ska,
that's the
and
genre.
then there was the rockabilly.
Okay. I worked with a dude at Wendy's who was in a rockabilly band, but they all dressed as women for their performances. It was really weird. That part actually, with the back and forth, that part I did enjoy.
It was good. It was really good.
And
especially the part where it was you couldn't play at first, which was kind of funny.
The other thing, too, that I was thinking about during this part, if you've ever really watched somebody play the fiddle really well...
Yeah, the fiddle's rad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, that part, I did enjoy this whole scene from the Queen Latifah part to the end when they left with him on the bus. That part, I enjoyed the scene.
Yeah, and by the way, that Devil Came to Georgia song is awesome.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Now we've got Zeb, who is played by Stephen Root, which is just such a waste of talent.
Correct, sir.
Wait, what? I don't...
Zeb is the fiddle player.
What was he doing?
He was the fiddle player.
No, but what was his deal? Like, where did they find him?
He was the alky.
He was Stephen Root's character.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Okay.
So we have the battle. Then we cut back to Christopher Walken smashing model after model of Country Bear Hall.
Right.
Which is really fun.
Yeah, he just has endless supplies of these models, and he's crushing it with a giant weight from the ceiling.
Yeah, 3-ton weight. It makes no sense, and that's what kind of makes it funny. And then we get the scene with Big Al and the cops, which I love. What's that, a sign? And then the Diedrich Bader, is that Kentucky fescue? Which is a type of grass. And they bro out kind of about grass, and yeah, they took him. This is where, that's where they are. Yep, that's him, but he's not as flat and small as he is right there.
Oh my god, I can't.
I don't know why I like Big Al, but I do.
Because he's a big dumb hick?
Yeah, but he's not dumb, he's just slow.
But then wasn't this the same part, or was that earlier with Christopher Walken, where he essentially
runs away basically,
and he says, "I might be slow, but I'm pretty fast."
Well, no, he says, "I might be chubby, but I'm pretty fast."
And he ends up because they're on the bus and they're all, "Look at the band back together," blah blah blah. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, it wasn't difficult for you to get the first two people. Why did you break up? There was no reference to why you broke up.
They waited until the end for that.
Right, no, I got it. But it just made the story feel a little weird because there was no, "Oh yeah, I'll go with you." Like, okay, why it didn't.
Right.
I feel like if they would have had the last bear, which we'll get to shortly, at the beginning, maybe that would have made it make more sense.
Well,
I don't know.
The problem is that most of this could have been taken care of by 5 phone calls in one visit.
Right. They gotta get in the bus though.
Yeah.
And so now we go to pick up Tennessee.
Yeah,
and
who is a marriage counselor.
Right, and I forgot that was the thing, is that he's a blumbering idiot because he lost Trixie, which is his girl bear.
He's not an idiot, he's heartbroken. He's a blubbering mess of tears.
She left him for a, quote, millionaire real estate, quote, panda, which is, so it's Asian.
Yeah.
That's what that is, and that... race as much.
Wait, you know what's really interesting? I don't think that there's a bear on Africa, is there? Is it the only continent with no bears other than maybe Antarctica or South America?
Doesn't Antarctica have polar bears?
No, it's North Pole.
Oh, there's no polar bears in Antarctica?
I don't think so.
Africa might be the only continent without
We're
bears.
going to have to double check that, but that's an interesting fact. Okay.
And he apparently is a marriage counselor. And so he's seeing a couple and he starts crying and they, of course, get really uncomfortable because it is really uncomfortable.
And then they both say that they feel better.
Right. So then they take him and go to a diner and there's another musical number, another singer who was popular in 1998.
Was she?
Jennifer Page. She had one hit song.
I wouldn't say hit because I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's just a little crush. I get to do every time we touch.
So like a low level.
Yeah, but I know this song. But anyways, so and it breaks into this whole song that she's saying, "Oh, you inspired me to," and his whole
Kick It Into Gear. That was the song.
Yeah,
and it was bad.
Did you make it?
Yeah, Fred, she made it. She just works here for the free uniform. Sorry, no offense.
None taken. I'm still working on it. I even did one of your songs, Kick It Into Gear.
Kick it into gear. Sometimes you just got to get
that old thing?
Blow the dust off that one.
Well, I kind of got my own arrangement. Sometimes you just got to kick it into gear.
That was bad. That was really bad.
It was just really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because they're doing this whole musical number, and
with
then
like a ton of waitresses and the whole.
And they're moving the booths around and all this stuff, and
it was way too much. This almost could have been a good stage show.
Yeah,
rather than a movie.
Yeah. So they sing the song, and you know who she reminded me of? Twin Peaks, the dumb one, Shelley.
A little bit, because she reminded me of just every white trash show I've ever known. Okay. So then we see this dumb news report of kidnapped Barry and the bus and everything, which at this point, the jig would be up. A bus is super easy to find.
Right. And it's a crappy bus, too.
Yeah.
It says Country Bears on the outside.
And then the cops come into the stupid diner. Don't see him at first. They all sneak out the back. And then they see Barry running back to give the waitress a hug.
I can't.
Ugh.
And
then they're like, "Oh, we gotta go chase him."
And of course, the roadie, the driver, says, "We're gonna hide in the car wash." What does that mean? We're gonna hide in the car wash. That's what he just said, but whatever.
Yeah, that was the whole chase scene was bizarre.
Well, they go in there and they get in.
But this is where the only good piece of music is because they play Leonard Skinner, "Gone in the Breeze" for this chase scene.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, it's a good song. It's a great song.
But so
That's when I looked at you and you're like, "Oh, I'll write it down for later." I was just rocking out to an actual good song.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But why would a bus fit in a car wash?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
Ever.
It wouldn't. There's no way. And so they go in, and of course the cop car, instead of just, pulling around on the other side to wait for them like a normal cop would do, we're going to go through the car wash too. And
see, I think that this scene is funny.
It's fine, but although I will say it did have callbacks to old school 70s live action movies because it was so ridiculous. So essentially they go through the car wash. The one guy essentially says, "I can't see," opens the window, and he gets sucked out by the car wash.
Diedrich Bader gets sucked out.
And
gets just beat up by the car wash, just thrown around. He loses his obviously fake mustache. This whole scene is just ridiculous car wash.
But then the other guy's, "I'll save you," and he gets sucked out by the car wash.
And the black guy, this is so racist. Immediately when he's sucked out, he goes, "I can't swim."
Wait, what?
Oh, totally.
Oh, that's bad.
That's the first thing he says when he gets sucked out of the car. Oh,
yeah,
that's not cool.
And they, of course, get out, and
Well, there's a whole hilarious scene of the wind blowing on them, and it totally. They have the shrunken clothes trope.
Right.
His afro is huge. Diedrich Bader's hair is blown back into this tube-looking
Yeah.
deal. It's just ridiculous.
Well, and that's why I was thinking, oh, this is a callback to the ridiculous, Herbie type crazy scene from the 70s, 80s. Like, it's that kind of crazy. Wacky.
I wish it was that good of whack.
No, it's not as good, but that's...
I mean, there is a little wackadoodle with this, but...
Yeah. And
not good.
So then they have to go to... Where do they go next?
So they're just at a motel. They show this cartoon that looks like Rocky and Bullwinkle that's starring the Country Bears.
Oh, I thought it looked like Yogi the Bear.
Yeah, kind of that too. Yeah, just that style.
Right.
It was pretty funny, actually. And then Barry goes and calls his brother to let him know everything's all good.
Right.
And don't tell mom and dad not to worry, blah, 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 blah.
And it's supposed to be a sad moment, but still I feel nothing.
Yeah, there was no feeling with that. As Barry is making his way back to the hotel room in their no-tell motel that they're staying at, he notices that Trixie is playing the no-tell motel.
Oh, that's what it was. I couldn't remember how they got from point A to point B.
Not that anybody else wouldn't have seen the sign when they pulled in.
Okay, but it would have been funnier if she was doing pole dancing or something like that.
It would have been great if she was a
That
stripper.
would have been
That would
funnier.
have been rad.
But no,
not for
she's
this
just.
movie.
I think it would have been better. But
Well, no, it would have been better, but Disney, you can't really be a stripper.
but you can.
A bear stripper, though? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, they had a freaking...
this isn't Universal.
They had a nudist colony in Zootopia. They could do this. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So she's playing, and of course, she's essentially a washed-up singer sort of thing.
Yeah, old washed-up nonsense.
So essentially, she probably left the panda, or he traded her in for a younger cub of some kind.
Oh, clearly a long time ago.
Yeah. And they pull up, and there's biker bears, and this is where, again, I'm thinking, I don't understand this world.
Disparity, yeah.
How does it work?
There's no explanation of like, hey, this is this, that is that.
Right, and then there's another musical number
with Trixie and Tennessee. I blacked out basically.
It's some song about love, and we're not on the same page, we're not on the same stage, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, and so then of course they hop on the bus. Oh yay, no struggles at all. Still no struggles with getting anybody. And then of course. And
that's where we see Bonnie Raitt and Don Henley at the bar. Also, is their little cameo when it's all done.
Right.
Bonnie Raitt. Like it was shocking.
Right.
Almost. After this, they call Ted.
Which I got very confused because they're saying Ted Betterhead. I'm like, wait, we already met Ted Betterhead.
No, we met Fred Betterhead.
But that wasn't clear.
I know, it was very confusing.
So confusing. And he's polishing some sort of fancy car.
Yeah, like a Rolls Royce.
So you're assuming, he's the only one
that's rich that made it.
And
he was the lead singer, so of course, that makes total sense.
Right, and hell no. And I'm thinking, okay, he was the reason they broke up.
Which turns out to be true.
Right. And so they go to his house, but he's not there. Elton John appears to be a gardener.
Right. And he's like, that's not Elton John. The real Elton John's taller. Okay.
I can't. So they go to, apparently they find out he's at a wedding.
At a country club.
At a country club. So they go there, and it's the whole very stereotypical, this is a very bougie, fancy wedding with a bunch of old people in sequined fancy dresses.
But all the bears end up being really popular there because they're charming little bears.
Big bears.
Big bears, whatever.
Right.
But Ted is just pissed that they're all there.
Right. So he tries to kick them out, but then Fred comes back.
His brother,
right,
Fred.
Comes back and sees that, you're just a wedding singer.
Yeah, and then he knocks Ted out and takes him.
Right. Is there another scene before they end up in the field?
Yeah, so there's a scene with the cops and the douchey kid.
Right.
Which makes no sense.
Because he's telling them he's not kidnapped,
Yeah. This is exactly where he is. This is blah, 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 blah. And nobody will listen to this kid. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it goes back to the field, right? Where they pull the bus over.
So, there's a little exposition before that, but yeah, essentially you're right.
What's the exposition?
About how he's not only a wedding singer, but a kids' party singer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just basically, there's the exposition explaining that Ted's a total loser.
Right. And so they pull over, he gets out, and they're all, come back, we're going to do the band, blah, blah, blah. And there's some sort of stupid scene, and Barry somehow has an epiphany where he says some quote from his dad. Oh, my dad! Oh, I gotta go home now.
I wrote the exact same thing, that he had an epiphany about his dad and left.
Right, and so he's just running down the road, and that's it.
And he's all of a sudden there.
I know. How did you get there so fast?
The space and time thing, once again, makes no sense. Like,
I mean,
does he live 5 minutes from Country Bear Hall? 10 minutes? Even though he took a Greyhound?
I don't know, dude.
Are we... There's a quick family reunion
and
where everybody's happy and nobody has any questions.
And I still feel nothing.
Oh, yeah. No.
And the best part of this is she says, the mom, who is essentially the most 90s looking mom I've ever seen, early 2000s mom I've ever seen. Yeah. Norbert. Oh, your dad's name is Norbert? Really? No. First mistake of this movie. But
first?
No, I'm saying first mistake as in when they're writing this. Oh, let's make the dad's name Norbert. Yeah. No. Off. And the bears are back on the bus. Oh, Barry left his stuff here, and they see the letter of my heroes are the country bears.
Yeah, just some paper he wrote to his 4th grade teacher, and they're like, oh.
Right.
So all of a sudden, Ted shows up at Barry's house. We're going to get the band back together, but not without you, Barry.
He's not a country bear. He's not part of the band.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, because they're not going to do the show without Barry.
Right.
And then Christopher Walken steals the bus and the rest of the bears. Why don't they just eat him? I don't understand. What's going on here? Like, you've got this guy, and you got these bears with their sharp teeth, and nothing happens with any of that. There's only one roar when somebody makes a joke, I think, at the diner.
Right.
And that's the only time that there's any kind of idea that they're bears. So there's this stupid montage of Ted trying to fit in their minivan, and instead they decide to tow a boat.
Because that makes sense.
With Ted in it, and there's this extraordinarily long scene.
Yeah, they're trying to harken back to that old school long chase scene. It's a Disney classic.
Of the homing device and Ted being in the boat and almost getting killed 18,000 times, going around corners and sticking his head out. And
it's dumb. The whole thing is dumb. It's stupid.
Is.
And of course, the boat comes in and barely nicks the gate. They open. Oh, yay, we're free! And they all get in the bus and
go back
to Country Bear Hall.
And then this is where we find out that Rip didn't promote the show because he was in the bag with Christopher Walken.
And then we find out the real reason that Christopher Walken is motivated, because there was a quick throwaway scene at the beginning.
Oh, we didn't talk about this, about the armpit fart.
Right. So essentially, the Country Bear, it was essentially a throwaway scene, and it wasn't. It
I didn't even write it down.
And it's, big reveal, so crazy. So they go, at the beginning, they're saying, this is how we got our break. Oh, that kid, he was, doing the armpit music or whatever.
He did great armpit farting.
And, he was really mad at us. And then later it's revealed Christopher Walken is that kid.
Yeah, they show the kid throwing a tambourine, and they said that he fought with one of the bears. That was actually kind of a funny scene that we both skipped.
Yeah, well, it's just stupid. But
it is stupid, don't get me wrong.
So that's why you weren't revenged this whole time, is some middle school talent show, and I've been pining away for 30 years. Like, why didn't you just tranquilize them all? I just don't.
Yeah, he had a tranquilizer belt across his chest of a whole bunch of tranquilizers.
But then he just set it down, and it was irrelevant. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
Oh my word! You're Benny Bogswagon! The armpit fodder!
That's right. Sweet, innocent kid. You jerks me all those years back.
You hit me with a chair!
Since that day, I'm plotting my revenge. Waiting for the day I destroy the place that brought me misery. Well, that day is tonight!
So essentially nobody showed up because he didn't promote the show. And then Big Al is, they're all in the back. I didn't want them on my grass. And so he opens and there's like swarms of people that rush in, which I'm thinking, how did they know about the show if nothing got promoted? They're just, like, what?
Maybe Big Al promoted it. Who knows?
With a son.
With a son.
And so then they got the money, and then there's the big, we're going to let the kid perform, and, no country bears without you. Okay, if people are going to pay all this money, they don't want to see some stupid unknown kid perform. That's not the thing. People would be pissed.
Yeah.
They'd be like, this kid. We don't know this little cub. Like, get out.
And all of a sudden, this kid shreds.
Ugh, I
like,
can't.
super solo. He's in 4th grade, and he shreds.
Oh, and let's also don't gloss over the fact he's in 4th grade. He has no fingers. He's a bear.
But yet he's wearing one of those slides on his finger.
I can't. It doesn't make any sense. And they have a very long concert sequence again.
So long.
And that's the end of the movie.
That's it.
Nothing else. That's it. Thank the Lord.
Oh, yeah. Thank the Lord.
So,
but nobody else.
Was that a song in the movie? Because it sure sounded like it could have been.
It could have been, yeah. That's just a bad song made by me.
Maybe we should market that. We can get, okay.
Yeah.
Copyright. We called it. Copyright.
TM. So what was your favorite part, Kelly?
I mean, we kind of already talked about it.
The fiddle scene.
The fiddle battle with Queen Latifah cameo. That's the best part.
That was the best part. The best song. All of the Country Bear songs were awful. The part where they played the Lynyrd Skynyrd song during the car chase was the best part.
Yeah. And again, we talked about this during the recap, but I had the 2 notes about the Jennifer Page, but that's who she was popular in 1998. Also, the Princess Diaries thing, which we already talked about. But I was very proud of myself for recognizing.
I'm proud of you because
I mean, she had very full eyebrows in the Princess Diaries music video. So in those 2 years, she got the idea, I'm going to wax these to be as thin as possible.
Oh, those aren't wax. Those are picked.
Well, whatever. She looks crazy.
Meth. Pick. So our main characters, I'm not really sure if there was a main character. I mean, I guess Henry and Barry.
It was supposed to... Okay, so... It's supposed to be Barry, but this is kind of, this is a very fringe level kind of like, but on Heavyweights where you had the main kid who was technically the main kid.
No, this was exactly like that.
But I don't really care about Barry. I don't really care about that main kid.
As a matter of fact, Barry was kind of irritating, and Henry was kind of a nothing. There was no strong lead for this movie.
No, and... then we get to the villain, which he was there early.
Oh, Christopher Walken was great as the villain.
No, he's great, but also there wasn't really that much interaction with him and the Country Bears.
No, it was all kind of ethereal.
So
outside.
It wasn't. It just the whole story was just laid out poorly, and it wasn't really a challenge for them to get the bears to come back, except for the one bear. But even
one last bear.
So then with the side characters, I couldn't tell anybody...
All of them are side characters.
I couldn't tell anybody apart.
Zeb, Big Al. Big Al was probably the biggest side character.
I mean, Trixie? Tennessee, are you the same bear? I don't know.
But Tennessee, he's only really for his one scene. Trixie's for her one scene. Ted is his 3 scenes. Mom and Dad, 3 scenes. The cops, 8 scenes. The cops are probably the best part.
That was very frustrating because I really didn't know who anybody was. And it wasn't that I wasn't paying attention. It was not laid out very well. And so the idea of, there's a band that breaks up and the kid wants to get... That's not a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying. The bones were there, but it just doesn't make it... They didn't make it make any sense.
No, and they didn't have... the backstory to back up the emotional parts they were trying to go for, and so it fell completely flat. The cinematography is all...
It's really good.
It was good, and they were trying to focus so much on these heavily produced musical numbers that it just seemed...
Well, and the bears, which looked great.
Yeah.
Especially for 2002. We kind of gloss over that, but in 2002, that looks really good.
Yeah, it was, and I think that it had a lot of production value, but it just wasn't... The story was so bad, and the writing was bad, and the direction was bad. I just don't. So what was your biggest surprise or disappointment from this movie?
I think we all know what my biggest surprise was.
I don't know.
You know, because you called it out at the very beginning. It was animatronic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The horror you saw in my face.
Well, you kind of did. It was literally a double take, and I was watching you, and you were, what?
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this going to be the whole movie, or is this just the beginning?
Right.
No, it's the whole thing.
My actually biggest surprise was just the sheer shocking number of cameos.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
people they had surprise. In this movie. Literally, they turn around and I'm like,
what? Whoa!
If you were going to remake this movie, what would you change about it?
I would make it make sense.
Yeah, I wrote basically the same thing. Better story. You could essentially get rid of Barry and that whole storyline. Just make it about the band.
Honestly, you know what? That's a very good point. The best thing for this movie would be to jettison Barry and make it Henry's journey to get the band back together to save Country Bear Hall.
Right.
That actually, this movie would make a lot of sense if you did that. Yeah. It would be really good. Good job, Kelly.
I mean, and I get the whole point of it, but it felt so forced and not.
It's Barry is such an awful character, and his family don't need to be there. Like, we could have cut all that out. And
it just wasn't good.
It would have been good. Any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I would say if you like the Country Bear Jamboree attraction in Disney World, you'll probably enjoy this movie for pure nostalgia, but it's not good.
So my whole thing was, who is this movie for? And I mean, I get what you're saying, but can you really build a movie off of a attraction at one theme park?
They think so.
Oh.
And clearly it was a very bad judgment. And the reason when we were done, and I was, so their budget was $35 million.
Yeah.
Cumulative worldwide gross. So this is up to today. They haven't even made their money back. They only made $18 million.
Yeah, because this movie, who is this movie for?
It's for the garbage.
It's not. It's for nobody. Nobody's interested.
It's terrible.
So what is your rating, Kelly?
So I really didn't enjoy this movie. And you... It just was this was a movie that I literally was thinking, God, I need this to be over. This is so terrible. And I really didn't like it. So I gave this movie a 10%. What?
You need a pen.
You need a pen?
Yeah, this one's... I was a little more generous. And I'm actually going to kind of lower it right now.
No, you don't get to...
No, we can always do it.
Oh,
we do it.
Come on, man.
22%. Because it was it was 27 before. It was kind of funny. There were parts of this movie that weren't awful.
No, and
which with the bad movies, I mean, come on. Planes? Is there a movie? Is there a part of that that's not awful?
But that was literally 3%. This is 10.
Santa Claus?
This is better than those.
Santa Claus 3, was there any part that wasn't terrible?
No. But that again, that was in single digit territory.
No, I know. There are things in this movie that is, I can point to the back. Yeah, all right. So
right.
Yeah. So it gets in that 20s for me. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is?
So it's a Disney movie, so it can't be as low as we had it. I'm gonna say 50%. I don't know. What is it?
31 with the critics.
Yikes.
And 33 with people.
Oh.
It's as bad as we think it is. This is maybe the biggest miss for a Disney movie.
It's pretty bad.
That we've ever encountered.
They haven't made back their original investment. And so usually even G-Force, they made back their money plus times 2.
Yeah.
And this is cumulative. They barely made half of their money back. It's a flop.
Yeah.
So, David, I need you to do better with your rolling. I mean, I'm glad we got this piece of flaming garbage out of the way, but the last couple movies, man, come on. be better.
I mean, I can't promise anything.
I know you can't because it's luck of the roll.
It is. That's what keeps us.
Okay, I am gonna just come on, get something at least that is good of some sort.
You feeling better, Ocho?
Don't make me laugh. I have to pee. It's really bad.
So we got number 214.
Oh, interesting. So that's slightly older.
Yeah, slightly.
Is
a
that
little bit.
the 90s?
It is.
Ooh, spicy. Is that animated?
It is not.
Never mind. What is it? Tell me, I'm scared.
You should be extraordinarily
no,
scared.
Stop! What is it?
It's from 1997. Disney's Air Bud.
Okay. All right. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Actually, no. I'm scared to watch this for a different reason. But
I'm scared to watch this for multiple reasons. I have not seen it.
So what's it about, David?
It's about a dog that plays basketball with its nose.
It is about, yeah, that is correct. So, I have seen this, I'm pretty sure, but I don't really remember it. Except for there's a dog, and I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be some part that makes me cry, because any movies like that with dogs make me cry. But also, fun fact.
Fun fact.
There's a straight-to-video sequel, I think it's called Air Buddies, about a bunch of puppies. And I had a friend that her parents bred golden retrievers, and the person who was producing that movie purchased all 10 golden retrievers.
Oh my god.
To be in that movie. So they got big from that. But, so I think I've at least seen part of this. And it's like, oh, I'm a dysfunctional kid. Oh, everything. And, oh, okay, I'll take the dog. Kind of like the underdog. It's that same kid, basically.
Really?
I think so. I don't really remember, but I know that, yeah, it's a dog that plays.
I just know that the dog plays basketball. That's my whole.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, Air Bud. Oh my god.
So I know that I already know this is not a good movie. But at least
maybe it'll be better. Like, I don't.
Wait.
It's.
Here's the thing: is that this I think will be at least fun to make fun of. Where this movie was so confusing that it was hard to even make.
Well,
fun of.
And this is in the 90s, so it could be a little better.
It could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other one was not too far from the 90s, so I mean, that's what it is. If you'd like to follow us on social media, send us an email at thedisneymovies@gmail.com, or just search at the Disney Movies on your favorite social media. You'll find us somewhere.
Please leave us a review. Those really do help a lot. We appreciate those of you that have.
Or subscribe. We love that, because really all we want you to do is listen to us blather.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in the meantime, this is at the Disney Movies with the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David.
Bye! Do you want to do me a huge favor?
Sure.
In the closet, in our bedroom, I'm going to try to be as descriptive as possible. There is a very thick cream-colored sweater hanging up. It's really thick and grandma-y.
On your side
or
in the middle?
On my side, on the top.
It's not in the middle, though.
No, it's on the side.
Okay.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Yeah, no. I have faith too.
Welcome to At the Disney Movies with just Kelly, because David is inside. Da-na-na.
I drink alone, but with nobody else.
I just remember. Wait, is that a real song or is that?
Yeah, that's his other song. His other super popular song.
What's the next line? And then I touch my wiener.
It should be. Yeah. Not working.
Oh my god, I have to pee so bad. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna pee my pants, David.
Well,